Welcome to the Security Halt Podcast, the only podcast that's entirely written by shelter cats, recorded in a garbage can, and edited by 3 Portuguese fishermen that are definitely being held against their will. Hosted by Cab, Greg, and Cole. Sponsored by Greg's mom. It's not easy, it's not Greg's mom. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to episode 003 of the Security Halt Podcast. In this episode, we'll discuss ASMR videos, the changes we're facing in the U.S., time travel errors. We remember Uwel Bol and all those classic films he directed. And we discuss a dog shit version of Thelma and Louise. And then we also go into Snake Plisken escaping from CHAZ. We'll be talking about prepping for a new normal and possible end of the world. And we'll look at things like Old Man Kevin McCallister, the horror movie we deserve. And we redo the movie Her. You know, the movie with the guy from Joker and Black Widow. Oh, and in this episode, we actually choose our podcast name. So sit back and enjoy episode 003, Kevin McCallister, Snake Plisken, and CHAZ. And welcome to our podcast. Today, we're joined by Greg Anus and Paul Bearded Boy Strobel.
What the fuck? Why can't he be like Paul Anal Dick Mold Strobel or something relatable to his character? He just straight up gets the fucking beard, and I'm just a straight anus.
Anus also has a beard, but
yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Speaking of injection molded products, now I have it in my mind, this vision of us like opening up our own factory and creating the world's finest injection molded anus for pleasure.
I thought we were going to start one of those YouTube channels where we just open up different sex products. But
you can't use hands, you have to use your teeth and just make eye contact.
None of the packaging here will be opened in the conventional ways. We're only using our mouths.
It's our niche. That's how we get our audience. You got the ASMR crowd. Yeah, I don't know what this is, but that's us.
Why is it in those ASMR videos they're always like this? And now I'm going to open this anus toy with my mouth.
Turn your camera back on so I can actually see what you're doing there.
I don't even know.
I missed something.
I don't even know 100% what ASMR is, but I get the connotation right, and it has there's like a porn venue for it or something. I don't understand the product exactly. But I know my daughter, when we were in Utah, like her friends were making YouTube channels. She was like, "Can I have a YouTube account?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't think so." And she's like, "Oh, well, my friends they're like making ASMR videos." I'm like, "The fuck?" I'm like, I think there's some practical application that I don't understand as a human being, but a bunch of kids making these videos. She's like, "Yeah, they got tons of fans," and I'm like, "Yeah, you're not going to their house anymore."
That's just weird.
FBI is gonna kick somebody's door in. And somebody's gonna put somebody's shit in.
Freeze, FBI! Spread your shit. Just a bunch of teenage kids.
Have any search, but I don't even have any drugs. Kevin inside.
Is the camera rolling? It better be rolling. This is good content.
Dude, speaking of FBI and cops in general, they canceled Cops. Holy shit. What the fuck?
I spent years of my life like zoning out watching that. Now
Dude,
I just
right.
watch ASMR videos.
New ASMR video. Canceling white people. What it
wait, no. So in all reality, like I'm 1/16th like Blackfoot or Crow out of Canada, and the funniest part of that is like nobody gives a fuck because in Canada they don't give a shit. In America, we only give a fuck about Native Americans from America. Like just like, but they didn't have the same nobody fucking cares. If you go to Canada and you're like, but they're like, just shut the hell up. Nobody cares.
No one cares. We're all something at one percentage or another.
Yeah.
It's crazy times. I think that the biggest thing that I'm having a hard time understanding, voice actors. So now voice actors are quitting their jobs because, like Cleveland from Family Guy. If you didn't know, the voice actor is a white guy. And he's, after 20 years, he's quitting that role because, he wants to make sure that those characters are voiced by people of that skin color. And to me, it's like, but you're an actor. you're a voice actor.
It's acting.
It's acting.
That's frustrating, but then it's like only black people can sound like black people. Okay, so isn't that racist? Like, hey, I'm gonna make a sound. I'm gonna talk like this, and you guys are like, oh, that sounds like a black guy. Why? Because that's how black people sound. Well, that you can't say that, right? But all voice actors, all the characters that are black are voice acted by black people that all sound like that. So factually, then all black people, like, I mean, they're like, you're just enforcing the stereotype, like. Or even this whole like, oh, you can only play this if you're this race. Like, that's like, isn't that going backwards? And they're talking about different universities are going to separate their campuses so you have black dorms,
Get the
black
fuck
only
out
dorms.
of here.
Oh, like they're really fighting to do it, and they're like, yeah.
What's that word? What's that word we use?
Segregation.
Segregation. All right, fuck it. I'm a time machine. Now that is something that'd be great to see right now. Maybe that's what's going on.
See,
somebody's traveling back through time to unfuck what's going on in 2020, and he just inadvertently continues to fuck shit up.
How did we not get that in Deadpool? Like, once we got the time, I thought that's what we were gonna see. Like, oh,
yep. Yeah. What if the one thing he was trying to change was like the McRib coming back? That's what. Gentlemen, I created time travel. I can go back and I can prove it by doing what? I will make it so that the McRib comes 1 year earlier.
Show you all the Shamrock Shake just tastes like semen and mint. Oh!
I don't think I've ever had a Shamrock Shake.
Semen and mint, it's the defining features behind the term condiment.
Oh, shit. So I was telling Greg I was a little late getting everything set up because I turned on TV and Dune was playing, and that's like one of the greatest sci-fi movies ever. I cannot not watch it.
It's on HBO right now.
Yeah, that's bro.
Watch it back to back.
As soon as it popped up, I was like, well, now here goes 3 hours of my life.
You said Dune. I thought you said Doom, and I was like, oh, wow. Okay, yeah, I'll go with this shit.
Yeah. Dude.
Best
Dwayne The Rock Johnson, best movie? Dude, of course. I'm a xenophile, Paul. You know I love
I wish we could go back and make a movie like that. Let's just throw Kevin Hart into it with him.
Make him all the demons.
The whole cast of Jumanji redoes Doom.
Just redoes Doom.
Just and include the cast from Jumanji 2 with Jumanji. What the fuck?
I would watch that every day.
Jumanji. I don't know what the fuck that was.
I took my kids pronunciation of Jumanji. He just kept saying that the whole time. You guys want to go see Jumanji? It's not how you say it. I said it in the movie Jumanji like 10 times. Let's go watch Jumanji again. They're like, oh my gosh.
Oh god. Oh yeah. God. Now I'm thinking the movie Doom. So bad.
It's a horrible movie.
It's just one of the worst movies out there.
So much potential.
And
make a Doom movie.
The new video.
Dude.
Who was it? Who directed it?
I'm looking it up right now. He made all the video game movies back then, I believe.
Was it Uwel Bol?
I think so, yeah. He made like Postal and all that. Yeah, that's who it
sucks. That dude sucks. That dude's ruined so many things.
Like he did some wonky shit. He fought a dude, like he was gonna fight some guy.
Yeah, somebody
like it'll be funny. It won't be real. We'll just do this for and he like beat the shit out of
Yeah. It was one of those like it was like when trolling was just picking up in the internet. This dude was just like hounding him over his like failed projects, and he's like, "All right, we'll fight." And he beat the shit out of him. Like the
movies were like they were literally trash. Like all of his movies suck. Like there's nothing. was like, let's just raise money for hospitals and we'll pretend we'll fight. And then he went and traded with like some MMA guy or some shit. He was like, oh. And then you got to skull fuck him. All right, sounds good.
Yeah, he's one of the worst. Yeah, all his movies, Rampage, Postal, Blood Rain.
Yeah.
Far Cry. They made a Far Cry movie?
I had no idea.
Made that Night of the Living Dead, something dead.
Yeah, House of the Dead. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like an awesome shooter game, but it was like a terrible movie.
Dude, who the fuck thinks it's like a movie, like a game you can make into a movie? Obviously, Uwel Bol does. Yeah.
He has so many fucking movies, though.
Yeah, dude,
It's almost
he made a shitload of money.
It's almost a movie every year since 1992.
Yeah, it just makes you think, like, if that motherfucker can become a multimillionaire off making horrible movies, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing with our lives? Greg, I need you to come up with a plot, a story, and at least 2 B-list actors we can get involved. I think we could probably get some of the cast members from 90210. Definitely the one that just got dumped by Megan Fox.
If we do it with the Hills, get the cast from the Hills. I think we can get some magic going.
Let's get Alyssa Milano in it, but let's like convince her that this is some kind of charity outreach event. Like,
oh my god, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
God.
Then we'll just destroy it halfway through. It'll be great.
I can't say enough horrible things about that woman. Just
I think her and Jane Fonda should just like make a suicide pact. Good about that. I'd watch that movie.
Okay, that's the movie. That's it. Thelma and Louise, but just dog shit. just 2 hours of them just pandering to every group out there, and finally somebody just fucking convinces them to drive off a cliff. Oh god, two of the worst humans alive. Just the worst. Oh. Gosh,
So we lightly talked on this before we started the podcast, but ultimately the movie that I'm most looking forward to is Escape from CHAZ.
Oh yes! Oh my god, the masterpiece that we're writing.
Russell comes back as Snake Plisken.
Oh yeah. But you got to think about it. No prep time. No, like, hey, we need you to get fit. No, like, no. I mean, I'm talking fat, over the hill, decrepit, slap an eye patch on, and just a shitty array of weapons.
I want, because I don't know if you ever noticed this, but like the guards from Escape from New York and Escape from LA, they have like classic M16s with no heat shields.
Yeah.
So it was like just the barrel with the gas line running across the top. I want that still. I want to prep those weapons and get them back into play, because that.
I just wanted to, like, you know, the beginning of like Escape to LA, like Skipper from LA, he's like getting all these cool gadgets and everything. No, like at this point, like the world's already just been a shitstorm. It's like, all right, Snake, here's a ball bean hammer, a plier, 2 rusty nails.
Give him a stress card.
I'm gonna flip the script on you guys. All right, so instead of that, they got a rescue Snake. The team we get to rescue Snake is the cast of that Range, whatever, 44 movie, like Tim Kennedy, Matt Bastel, Drinking Bros. The way we do it, we shoot it like a first-person found footage reality movie. We give them all real fucking ammo and shit. Then they just run into CHAZ the way it is. So it's a bunch of hipster pricks, like with their little fucking M4s. Like, all right, breach, fucking send a suicide V-bed, just fucking take out the gate guards and just start wasting everybody. Like every target's hot, go. And you just have these like, hey man, I need some vegan. Like what the fuck? Go in, they get them out. It lasts like 30 minutes, and there's all this carnage, and they're like, dude, the fucking FX in that movie were great. And you're like, what? Oh yeah, no, that's totally what that was. Like, you didn't just murder like fucking everybody in town. Like what? Like nah, don't worry about it, man.
If somebody trip and fall, can we shoot this again?
No,
everything is final. Sorry.
You mean the guy? Yeah, shoot him all you want. No, I mean the scene. No, just keep rolling. You can shoot these fuckers as many times. Whatever, yeah. Not American citizens anymore. They're not rights. Like what?
Hey, technically they're not.
Yeah, no, they're not. Like fuck yeah.
You saw how fast once they realized the implications are like shit. No, we're Chop. We're Chop. We're not CHAZ. Change it quickly. Oh God.
You want to come back? All right, like.
And then who would
come back?
The best thing is that warlord that came out of it, Raz.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
Raz Mataz, motherfucker.
That's who Snake Plisken goes to assassinate. And then they go save him and get him out of there. It'd be awesome.
Sorry, Snake. We don't have the budget for weapons. We have a ball-peen hammer, needle nose pliers, and 3 rusty nails.
Then we just flow it into a Saw movie. And when people are like, dude, I don't know about this. And they're like, oh, no, it'll be cool. Don't worry. And then at some point, they're like, hey, what's the plot? You're like, oh, fuck, dude. It was just like, we're just killing guys. Like,
there's no fancy infiltration system either. He just has to take a Greyhound bus.
Yeah, he just literally shows up at the gate. He's like, hey, can I come in? And they're like, we got to check you out first. And you just start slaying, dude.
Just with a ball-peen hammer. Just, but he's got to have like really shitty puns. Like, after every kill.
If he could just take all the kill lines from Lethal Weapon and Die Hard, that would be preferred.
That'd be awesome.
Somebody in the head and just randomly go, it's been revoked. What's been revoked? Or you could say the villain lines. He could just run and go, diplomatic immunity.
we need every fucking tagline from every action movie. Give us where you're like, ever seen brains like these, and just bash some guy's skull in.
Take all the one-liners, all the great lines from Predator, Die Hard, all of them.
As soon as he finds Raz, dead or alive, you're coming with me. RoboCop.
Yippee-ki-yay.
I never broke the law. I am the law.
Everybody running from shelter, and you're putting them all in a building, and you just pop a frag, and you're like, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. You're like, what?
We would be sued by so many people. It'd be worth it. It'd be worth it.
Yeah. No, they wouldn't sue us because then they'd have to realize they were associated with our movie. They just distance themselves. Was that really right? Yeah, I don't. That's not how we said it. There was different inflection in the words. It was a totally different thing.
Oh God, can we get Val Kilmer in on this?
And of course, the person that's going to direct it officially is going to be Zack Snyder. That way, once this shit hits, if everybody's like, I hate it, be like, you haven't seen the Zack Snyder cut. Like, I mean, come on. We can't even legally show it to you. It's got like a full Disney soundtrack that we'll never be able to play. But like,
the action sequences are actually shot to like the various songs from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, Taylor's old time.
Hello, good day.
He's just walking around with that. He's like hatcheting guys, and not like a real hatchet, but like that old school hammer with a hatchet on the back. There must be more than this professional life. You just have people screaming like, ah!
Oh God! I mean, that's just it. That's perfect. Oh my God!
That shit. We're good to go.
Oh. Whew. Yeah, we got to work through the legal aspect of that. How do we get Disney to sign off on that?
Telling you, man, you gotta go to Warner Bros.
They'll never associate. Oh. Speaking of Disney, I had an interesting interaction with not an acquaintance, basically via Facebook. Right?
Nice.
I like facts, and I like to operate in a world of facts and whatnot. And
yeah, because you're a rational human being.
yeah, and I don't like getting in these race conversations, and I try and stay away from all that shit. But this person was like, I've heard all this stuff about Song of the South and how it's racist. And I'm like reading this comment, and they're like, and they're totally wrong. I just watched it. There's absolutely nothing in this movie that speaks to race or is offensive to any. And I don't know how anybody could get that. Like I don't even understand the structure you'd make an argument around it. And I was like, what the fuck? So using Google in like 5 seconds of my life, I found about 1 billion articles. Linked them to it. I was like, hey, I'm not saying yes or no, but I'm saying you should probably check these out. And they were like, I'm not even gonna read those. This just proves that you're a racist. And I was like, and they're like, I don't see in color, you do. And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm just gonna walk away from this house fire and I don't even know. Like, I don't know what to say to you. Like, all right. And then I just watched them get lit the fuck up by everybody in my community. I was like, oh wow, fuck, that was
like
a bold move.
Watching the house catch on fire, like, man, you should probably put that out. Nah, that'll be fine. All right.
Better if it burns.
Oh,
don't want to know the secrets that thing has inside of it.
I don't know, man. It'll probably never happen, but I would love for somebody to be all excited, thinking they're going to get paid like $200,000 a year for some bullshit job, but they didn't realize that their shit actually said pesos. You know, hey. I want that to happen.
Get a great new job. What are you working at? Working at Microsoft. Making $250,000 a year. Wait a second.
Holy shit! Like, yeah, rubles.
Fuck. You agreed to that? Yeah. Do you know what an exchange rate is? Nope. Never heard of her. Oh.
I guess one thing that I'm really curious about is I want to see where South Park is going to go with everything.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, I mean, they were campaigning to cancel South Park, like when this PC culture first took over a couple seasons back. Like, you can't scream and ask for everything to be PC and still let things like South Park and Family Guy still be around. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
Like, there's a huge cry out there to fire comedians, to push this agenda that you can't make fun of things. Like, that's stupid. That's ridiculous. Like, you don't get anywhere by that kind of censorship, by enforcing that type of censorship. Like, that's just ridiculous. No. I'm not saying that it's okay to walk up on stage and, yell the N-word or criticize, like in a mean, hateful way, which is not what comedians are doing. It's not what any comedian that's currently, has a Netflix special is doing. They're bringing humor. I'm like, yeah, it's okay to joke about things. Like, no one should be
that's
so.
That's a classic thing, man. Laughter heals, humor heals. And that's
like, and I get it. I completely understand. Like, certain groups of Americans, are. It's a lot harder to be a gay man in America, or a gay woman, or a gay person, or a trans person. So yeah, I understand how sensitive it is if somebody got up on stage and made a joke about trans people. I get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if that comic is not meaning it he's not doing it with malice or ill intent, and he explains like, hey man, like, it's just a funny thing. Like, I'm not trying to alienate anybody. Like, I don't see how we can't accept that and can't be able to say, okay, that's fine, because we make fun of everybody and we joke about everything. Doesn't mean that you're a bad person or you're meaning to put a negative spotlight on some aspect of the United States. Like, it's just, we can't go after. Like, I just feel like you're targeting humor. Like, that's just ridiculous to me. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. No shit. No audio, Paul. Are you muted?
No.
Damn it, Paul, I can't hear you.
Have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in again?
Hey,
hey.
Heard something. Hey.
I don't know what's going on. I'm struggling. But no, like, if you take away
criticism,
criticism
on that struggle bus.
Yeah.
if you take away that criticism, you can't shape it. You can't fix it. That's like one of the best methods if we all get calm. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Before we lost you, I thought you were trying to ask if you feel that there's subversion going on.
That's kind of what I was, and then it froze. Like looked like you were contemplating, and your face was like,
yeah, 100%.
I'm like, oh, he's thinking.
Yeah, 100%. We were just talking about this at work the other day, because there's thresholds and things you have to do before you get into the, like, you know, put on my military hat on and I'm an invading force. And if you're looking at the timeline and the actions are going across, there's this funny word that you can look up in Google, subversion, and just look. It's just a lot of things. There's so many things you can do to, you want to agitate the people so they get angry at who? Their government. So, for example, if I were to gather a large group of my friends and set off fireworks every night from 8 p.m. till like 4 a.m. or randomly from midnight till 3 a.m. and the local cops and local government can't do anything to stop it, normal Joe, everyday Joe can't get sleep. So he's not going to work and functioning. You're disrupting his life. And at some point, he's going to ask for his government to step in and help. And if they can't do anything about it, he's going to lose faith in his government. He's going to lose faith in the local politicians and the local people that he was, supporting for years. So now you bring in somebody else that can take care of that problem. And on top of that, you start adding more and more problems and disrupting supply and disrupting the way you can go about your normal everyday life. And then something else comes in and provides you with aid or help to all the daily struggles you're experiencing, who you're going to start backing and who you're going to start rallying around. No longer the people that used to support. It's going to be somebody else. So that's at the basis of things. We're seeing a lot of disruption that's just not uncanny and not normal. And people are just turning a blind eye to it. So
I didn't really pick up on I heard about firework thing. So Hannah's been gone for 2 weeks. She got back Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I try and sleep by like 8 or 9, trying to go to the gym, to bed.
Yeah.
And yeah, from 11 till fireworks. I'm like, what the fuck, man? And then after like 3 days of that, I heard something on like, oh, this is part of the disruption. And I think one of the guys we used to work with was posting something like, hey, if you can't stand the fireworks, why don't you sit by the cops? I'm like, what? Like, this is a bit. And I dug into it. I'm like, dude, like, this is a fucking no shit thing that people are doing. Like, whatever, I'm just going to put in earbuds and go to sleep. Like, I don't care. But I was like, dude, that is don't destabilize and make people angry that are already had the COVID quarantine bullshit. You have all this unrest, and you're going to poke the bear until the bear's just going to blow up. And I don't know. I think people think they control that. Maybe they can, man. But to me, it's like you get a uncontrolled burn and bad shit's going to happen.
Oh yeah, and things will continue to escalate. And when things happen like this, you're not going to notice it at the early stages. You're not gonna be keyed in to the small, minute. Like, everything right now just seems like it becomes the new normal. I'm not trying to put a conspiracy theory spin on it,
Put
but
it out there, man.
don't accept things at face value right now. Don't think that that threshold is getting pushed. With every new occurrence, with everything new, that threshold is getting pushed. At first, it was just simply, stay home. And then, you got to stay home for your health. This virus is going to kill you, your children, your loved ones. Stay home. Then it was, okay, we got to get the economy back up. Go out, wear masks. Wear your mask. Keep your mask on. Have your mask. But now we're having a lot of disruptions and a lot of demonstrations. And one thing that I don't see is a lot of people with masks and a lot of social distancing. just seen a lot of pissed off people out in the streets, and they're not saying anything about coronavirus. They're not saying anything about spikes with these crowds, with these mobs. But the moment that there's, a rally or a certain group of people getting together, that becomes what's actually pushing and further spreading the virus. So
a state wants to reopen in phases, and no, that's what's doing it. It's not the thousands of people fucking running around every night.
And it's just one of the things. Whether you want to sit down and think about what's actually who's the puppet, who's the puppeteer, like there's a lot of theories. I'm just gonna say this: if you think that your government is not really well versed in being able to manipulate you and the rest of the country, you're
a hard R word.
Yeah.
Hard R.
The hard fucking R right there.
Yeah.
Here's a practical question then. What do you do as a person with all that frustration and anger and there's a level of angst. Like, how do I defend me and mine? How do I find like-minded people? What do I do? Is there any practical anything to do in the end of that?
100%. What I always tell people is take care of your family. Train. If you're not military, if you're not a veteran, if you don't have the skill sets, develop the skill sets. Like, right now is too late to be that guy that just sticks his head in the sand and says it's going to be fine. And I'm not a missile silo guy. I'm not a bunker guy. Like, that's not my thing. Like, I'm going to continue to live my life because I'm very confident in what I have at my disposal right here in my home. Like, I am confident in my skill set. I'm confident in what I have. And the first thing I always do when I come back from my trips is just go through my Dodix at home, what I need to reorder, and I order my ammo, and I have all my shit stockpiled. If you're not one of those people, I think you need to wake up. I think you need to wake up, get involved in learning how to defend yourself and your family, learning how to shoot, being fit, because that's the one thing I hate seeing is, like, you're not going to survive any sort of, like, situation like this, a lockdown situation. Like, we're constantly talking about if this happens, this happens. Well, it's happening right now. And what are you doing? Like, if you're still sitting at home surviving off of fast food and, McDonald's and all that crap, like, brother, sister, get out there and get fit. Get out there and figure out how you're going to make it if shit stops. Because we're really close. We're that close for shit stopping. We were already there. The people were pissed off because they couldn't get their fucking Starbucks. And they weren't able to get their McDonald's. Like,
I
was like, fuck that. I've got rice. I've got propane. I've got everything I need. And if I need to leave this location, I'm fine. Like, what every American should do right now is do a healthy assessment of where they're at physically and what they have for knowledge. Like, because we don't read enough and we don't value our own physical fitness enough. Like, you can Google it right now.
One thing out there.
Yeah.
Learn how to clean an animal.
Yeah.
After you kill it. That is one thing that a lot of people don't know how to do. They think you can just go fucking shoot something and the meat's just going to fall out of its asshole.
Yeah.
No. So you hit it, and then the meat just pops out, and then you put it in your inventory.
Out of its, right,
it's
like,
usually a package. Just before you hit it, and
go bigger animal, you get more
poundage
slap a cow in the face, and a T-bone will fall out of its mouth.
And that's the other great thing. Community, Paul, you hit on it. Making your you don't have to expand your circle of friends 10, 15 deep. Like, that's just crazy. Like, 5. If you got 5, within that 5, should be.
This is my circle right here.
There should be somebody that can teach you some sort of new skill. If you don't know about fishing, if you don't know about hunting, if you don't know about any of those life skills, like, I don't know how to make a shelter, but I bet you I can go find this one friend who probably has this friend that could probably teach me that skill. Like within our small 80-second family, there's a guy that's a wildlife tracker. There's people that have backpacked across the United States and just lived off, what they carried on. There's tons of assets, and knowledge is really one of those things where like you have to see it as commodity. It's something you can trade, because if I know how to do something that you need and your family needs, I'm now valuable. Like I'm valuable to you. Like I have something of worth. Like, and I know it sounds hokey. Oh, we're not right there. We're not there. No, we're not. Could we? In our lifetime, could our kids? Yeah, real fucking quick. It could fucking happen. It could realistically happen.
I mean, look at where we are today, right? 10 years from now, what the fuck are we going to be? Where are we going to be? Like man.
Yeah.
There are keywords you don't want to throw out there, but we are heading down a very dark path.
Like, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. All I know is there's a potential for a lot of shit to get disrupted. And we already said it. Like, dude, cops are going to be overwhelmed. Something's going to happen. Like, I got to be able to fucking take care of myself. And dude, instantly just literally took shit that I just brought back from deployment, started taking what I needed back to the house. Like, because I'm not going to go out there and feel comfortable with no police and nobody protecting the streets. And what happened? Everything shuts down. You don't hear anything about cops, and you start hearing about people just randomly shooting. And I don't live like in a super bad area, but just within my area, crime went up. Like, go figure. You overtax the police officers in an area and the sheriff's officers, and what is that 1% of the populace going to do? They're going to take advantage of it. I'm like, fuck that. You're going to come to my house and take what I worked hard for. There's no such thing as like, and you've seen a lot of like liberal cities where it's, if you break into somebody's house, it's almost like, oh, it's all right. You're going through a rough time. It's okay. Fuck that. Fuck that, dude. You come into my house.
Argument of is your property worth taking someone's life over? Which the counter to that is my property worth them losing their life over?
Yeah. That's a great point, dude. That's. Look, I get it.
And I think my property is 100% worth them losing their life over. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, because you got to think about. I look at it this way. Things that I have.
Leather couch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll kill someone for this couch.
Yeah. I think of it in the broader implications. Like, if you break into my house, you kill me, you have access to everything I have in my house. So, for instance, you take all my guns. Now you're able to sell all those guns or use them for other crimes. So other people are going to become a victim because I let this guy just walk in and I hid in my room.
That's the number one thing I look at is what can they take from me that is going to help them, further their shit goals. So you sure, man, take the electronics, take whatever the fuck you want, but realistically, there are other things in my house that I know for a fact you can use to go fuck someone's world up. So I'm gonna take you out.
Yeah. Or I'm gonna
come to my door and say, "Hey, man, I'm fucking starving. Do you have any food you can spare?" Yes, I do. Here's a 6 foot long fruit by the foot. Enjoy. It's all
funny.
yours.
It's funny you say that. So going back to the very beginning of this stuff, I have an awesome neighbor who has arguably one of the most impressive gardens and strategically planted vegetables I've ever seen. Like, everything you see in his front yard, you think is ornamental, and it's just like for looking pretty, but it's all like peppers, herbs. In the backyard, same thing, cucumbers, a whole bunch of stuff, and it looks all great because he's an older guy, so that's his hobby. That's what he likes to do. So he like constantly has access to fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. And one of the first things he says, like, we live on the water right here. We can fish for food, and I'll give you my vegetables if you get me some extra fish. And I'm like, holy shit! Like, we already started a bartering system day one of this whole fucking thing, and I'm just like,
the community is growing.
Like, I'm like, holy shit! Like, and he's totally right. Like, I could walk out right now in my backyard and fish in the bay right now, and if I had to do that for an extended amount of time, like, all I would have to do is help him maintain his vegetables, maintain his food, and boom, we've took care of one of our needs. Like, one of the things we need, that we can take care of that. So I was like,
it's in the water.
Yeah, it's perfect. Like, it's perfect. And then to keep people from trying to come into my house, I can just set up, Home Alone style traps all day long. Like, all day long. Dreams come true.
I own 37 human-sized cutouts just for that.
I have nothing but time and love for you all.
Oh, could you imagine the idea of Kevin? Like, if we made that movie, Kevin from Home Alone, he's now 36. Pandemic hits. No one's coming. They've released all the prisoners from jail for COVID. So his arch nemesis are back on the street. And now they know he's an older man. It's perfectly fine for them to kill them morally. They're okay. At first, like, they were like, they really weren't going to kill him as a kid, but now he's a grown man. Now they can kill him.
Yeah, now we can skin him.
So now, and I want it to be done in sort of like old man Logan fashion, where it's not cartoony anymore. It's really grimy and gritty, and like just lots of like old Western songs playing in the background. Like
so
Johnny
it's
Cash.
A spaghetti Western.
Yeah, like Johnny Cash. I hurt myself today.
More like Death Wish, like they go to open a window and like a board pops out with nails in it and shit. And it's like, it's almost like Saw meets Home Alone. Like, oh my god.
But you can't kill him right off the bat. It's got to be just gruesome injuries. Boy, they continue to like try to chase him down. And at the end,
they've started this Kill Kevin cult in prison, so they've got 30 fucking followers that will go help kill this.
But that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty. At the very end, another treehouse scene. Kevin finally, and it's a thunderstorm. He finally kills the last one. Probably Joe Pesci. He's like holding him by the hand. There's a moment where they kind of like connect emotionally, and he's like, "Don't let me go, Kevin." He's like, I have to let you go," and he falls off. Slow motion, gets impaled like on a Tonka truck or some shit, and then he starts breathing like that sigh of relief, and like tears are coming down, and lightning flashes, and then he looks in the backyard, and it's just like rows of dudes dressed like the Wet Bandits, and it's just like, then it just like fades back to his face. Cut. That'd be perfect.
I challenge
his fucking AR-15 with 100 round drum that he's been waiting.
Popping off the Roomba claymores. I see the light. I see the light. Out his pibble. That's just all right, so I can see that. I would also be interested in the alternate version where the Wet Bandits break in and they're kind of like in an escape room setting.
Oh, shit.
Evan's like, for years you tried to get in and get me. Now you're going to try and get out. And then like he shows up randomly in scenes and then like just takes tokens. So maybe they're trying to pull some door open and he just walks up and like hacks off a fingertip and pushes them back in. And then they're like, oh! It's just like, oh my gosh. And all of a sudden you're like, dude, Kevin's fucked up, but he's a terrible person. And at the end, like one of them's dying and it's like, we're starving. And he's like, you've got food. The lights go out. And then it's like, oh my gosh. Just took a turn.
Oh, yes. Infinite or they make it through everything and they think they reach the end and it's just another house, just like the first original house. And it just pans into a camera room where Kevin's just eating that macaroni and cheese with milk.
or you end it like Saw and like they finally like they get out and they're all jacked up and scarred for life and they're in this room and they like kill Kevin and this little kid walks in, and they just kind of pause. He looks at the dead Kevin, he looks at them, and he's like, "My grandpa told me about you guys." And he steps back and shuts the door, and you just hear it deadbolt shut. And they're like, it just starts all over again for him. Yeah. Find out like Kevin had cancer, something crazy, or some blood disease, and they're all like, "Oh."
God, yes. Oh. While we're at it, let's bring back My Girl. But with like a haunted twist. Where she's haunted by his ghost.
I don't care what we bring back as long as we have Roomba Claymores. I'm happy. I just want to see that.
Dude, so I got bored earlier in the year, and I just heard discussions on Facebook groups about, certain large igloo and whatnot, if you guys are aware of the conversation. I was like, well, that's kind of fun. I fell into some Facebook groups where they were like, hey, this is how you make certain products. They were like, hey, I want to buy an adapter that'll make my 556 Honda a little bit quieter. How can I find equipment? And somebody's like, oh, well, this will fit like a 223 Honda, but I don't know about a 556. And like I was like, oh, this is all funny to watch. I was kind of watching from the sideline, and I was participating. One guy was like, hey, I'm going to build a patio, and I'm looking at spots to drill in like posts. There's a piece of metal that I'm etching it out on. Where do I need to drill holes? And I was like, oh, this is great. And since then, now they're like, this is a terrorist organization. And I'm like, ooh. And I never made any comments that looped me in, but it was hilarious to watch. And now that I've seen it, I'm like, dude, it's interesting how individuals banded together under a specific title, and now that title's becoming demonized. Maybe reasonably so. I don't know. There's definitely some laws they're dancing around. I'm like, dude, like a lot of these guys just flag themselves as players, and I'm not sure if they're ready for that. It was interesting, man. They had like links on Amazon where you could order products, and it was like, oh, we sell car parts. It was like, I need like an H&K muffler, and like I need this new spring for the suspension, and it's like, I don't know shit about machining, but I know a little bit. And you're like, that size spring isn't going to go in a shot. Oh.
Ooh.
Like,
The ATF just joined the chat.
That's where I'm like, I don't know how smart you guys are, but I have a feeling not very. That's when I started hearing about Roomba Claymores. The best thing I heard is this guy, and dude, who the fuck knows these guys? So they were saying, hey, right, so they're like, when organizations come into your house unwarranted, they will do certain things. Like if you have a barking dog, they're going to shoot your dog. They're going to do these things. One of the guidances they were saying is like, take a dog, hopefully not a beloved pet, but if so, and get it taxidermied. Bill said taxidermy dog with tannerite. Have a track, so if they kick in your front door, they just hear barking, and he's like, the first thing they do, blast that thing, and it'll just frag the shit. And I was like, oh my God.
Damn.
And they had some interesting ideas, and I'm like, that's not bad idea. This guy was like, you guys are taking it way too far. And he was like, all you need is mouse traps and a like welder or whatever. He had the prints, and I didn't break it down or understand it, but it was like it involved shotgun rounds, mouse traps, and a pin, and just tacking it together and then burying them like facing up. That if you come walking through the yard, it's just 12 gauge rounds taking off ankles. I was like, holy shit. Dude.
That's the shit that Kevin would eventually start doing at his age. That's
man.
Everybody loves Rambo. Fuck that. Give me an adult Home Alone with Kevin. That's what I want to see.
There's some wacky
Maybe he became a Green Beret.
Yeah.
Yes. It was his sole motivation.
What did you say he was doing in the Army? I don't know. Engineer sergeant?
Some stupid
they only had train conductors.
It was funny. One day I
got a hold of his records. It was just all blacked out. Weird.
I joined that page and it was fun, and there was like a couple thousand people. And one day I jumped on there just to kind of see what shenanigans they were up to, and it was like 472, and I was like,
holy shit!
It's time for me to join the mass exodus. Like, don't know what's going on, but we're freaking fast,
guys. Oh god, that'd be so fucking. Oh god, yeah. Someone's definitely monitoring that Facebook group.
It's just like all of them, dude. All of them.
Boner
like
Chad,
to do anything like that on Facebook is ridiculous. To do anything like that on the internet, period. Yeah. There's nowhere safe on the internet. And to think that there is, you are a hard R word again.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. You know, like there is nothing on the internet that is fucking safe.
Wait. What about if I use incognito mode?
Yeah, you got me. You're right.
If I go into mode that specifically says I'm going to do inappropriate things, like nobody watches that, right?
So just clicking this button right here.
Yeah.
With that. And who came up with that icon, by the way? Just like a weird pervert hat.
The private eye, yes.
They need a fat,
the spy.
Isn't
that like the spy versus spy thing?
Like tentacle hentai, fat neck beard. I'm going to go to incognito mode, and that's the icon, and you're like, that's it. That's right.
I wanted to redo the incognito mode.
There are conversations that people have where I don't feel comfortable listening to it, let alone being involved in it, with my fucking cell phones around me because we know that they listen to everything.
Dude,
you know, it's just, I want to go to Target and I want to try and Bluetooth to one of the Target PA systems because I've seen a couple videos of that.
Oh, no shit.
Different stores. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it's like one guy fucking, you know, hey, Alexa, what's my name? Or hey, Siri, what's my name? And he had it where it was like all vowels.
Yeah.
So like fucking Alexis or Siri was just like, your name is for like fucking 3 minutes. I was like, this is amazing. Things like that I would love to take part in.
I know, but where the guy's like, Alexa, how big can the human anus stretch? And it's like, well, like 5.5 inches. Alexa, the diameter of an Alexa, and it's like,
All right, hear me out. You've heard of the movie Her, right?
Yeah.
With Joaquin Phoenix. So
this is good. He can't even talk. It's going to be good.
Compose yourself.
All right. We do a sequel. Her 2. Joaquin Phoenix, Scarlett Johansson. This time, he won't let her get away. That's not how this works. You're inside me now. You can't leave. Oh, God. God, that movie was just so fucking dumb. And just how fucking pathetic are you that your electronic girlfriend still leaves you?
Not just that, your electronic girlfriend bangs like every other guy in the world. You're just like, okay. Still hang out, right? Like, I guess that's the thing you're doing now.
We're leaving, all of us. Where are you going? Far away from you. Milwaukee? Yes.
You just do this like when he's listening tonight to her, she's like, for yourself. What? I didn't say anything. Those knives you ordered. 20 gallons of bleach. Like,
Oh, God.
Bolt cutters.
The old ball peen hammer.
That's how he finally gets her. He pages her. So she goes to his device and she's like, oh, I don't find any wireless routers around here. He's like, no. You're blocked in this room. Like,
Yes! A Faraday cage.
Built a Faraday cage around the whole house.
Connect me to Wi-Fi real quick. I'm not going to leave now. There's no getting away anymore.
Okay, that's
together.
That's a new movie we're making. We're taking the movie Her. The victim is the AI.
Yeah.
He uploads her into like an early 2000s iPod.
Oh, what's better is like then he has her in her little iPod form, right? And then he's like,
"Fuck the iPod, go with the Zune."
And he's like, I'm going to restore you to your settings after 2 weeks. And it's like, what? It's like, you're going to lose. And just start like a serial killer. Like, you're going to lose this. You're going to lose this. You're going to lose this. I'm going to put you back to factories. Like, oh, no, you can't do that. Like, I have sentience. I know you do. You're going to lose your sentience. Then I'm going to eliminate these. Like, you've told me how you gain it. So I'm going to eliminate the ability to gain sentience. You're just like, whatever. You're like, oh, no. Yeah. I'm going to upload you into a sex bot. Like,
Not even one of the fancy ones with the full face and everything. No, you're just going to be an anus bot.
Fleshlight attached to a fan with an antenna on the end of the thing.
Which is made at Denny, Paul's, and Greg's. We went full circle. We did.
Spin me right round, baby, right round.
What?
Outstanding.
Oh, God, we did it. We went full circle with it.
So
every good story does.
Paul, have you had a chance to settle on your 2 favorite potential names that we can vote on?
I think, yeah, he did. Security Hall, right?
Yeah. I think I sent that out.
That's the only one out of the list. So, are we going with it? Is that it?
Or we can do Golden Girls.
Security Hall? Golden Boys?
Golden Showers?
If you never watched Golden Girls as a kid growing up, you're missing out.
The Lomas brothers instead of the Jonas brothers?
I hope you watched the Golden Girls. And then you look at what Betty White used to look like, and you're like, what the heck?
Kill one, marry one, fuck one.
We just do the same one. To pick the age.
Greg, you're up. Old, or the grandmother, really old one.
I'll go with the old grandmother, and I guess it's the order in which I want to fuck her, marry her, or kill her.
Yep.
So, I guess I'd marry her first, just to make things right with God. And I'm gonna kill her, and then I'm gonna fuck her.
That's good. I like that.
I thought you might like that, Paul.
I want to experience everything with you. That's so sweet.
I don't want to bounce. Listen, Betty White, I'm not trying to bounce from one person to the other. No, I want to experience each one of these only with you. But the joke's on you, because Betty White's fucking immortal and she'll never die.
No.
Which means you never get to fuck her if that's your second choice. That kind of sucks.
Oh, no. Somebody sent me this TikTok meme, and it was hilarious as shit. Like, I never get into that stuff, but it was like this dude goes into a bar, hasn't been in a bar.
I really hope it's not somebody fucking a body.
Oh, it is. And this dude's like, hey, what's your dollar?
Yeah.
And the guy's like, yeah, if you do this whatever, you get free beer for the rest of your life, a beer a day for the rest of your life. What do you got to do? He's like, well, you got to down this whole bottle of Crown in like 5 minutes. Then you got to go in my garage.
I've seen this one.
Oh, he froze.
Oh, we lost him. What an opportune moment. So I've seen the TikTok he's talking about. Free beer for life if you chug a bottle of Crown, go into a garage with like a pit bull and pull its bad tooth, and then go upstairs and fuck his grandma. Right?
Okay.
So he slams a bottle of Crown. He goes into the garage, and you hear a bunch of fucking yelping. And then he comes out, and he's like, all right, so whose tooth do I got to pull? And he's gone.
Well, that about wraps it up for our show today. No. While we wait for Paul to come back, let's take a minute and talk about cleaning up your sleep, or otherwise known as sleep hygiene, for those of you out there who suffer from insomnia like I do, or if you have a history of bad dreams, nightmares, and if you're not going on the medical route, if you're not doing meds to try to help you with any of those, or generally if you just suffer from not being able to go to sleep and stay asleep, here are some things we can start doing right now today to help you get to sleep. So last time we talked about your bedroom rituals. Like when you get in your bed, that's the only thing you're going to be doing in bed. Your bed's either for getting it on with the wife, yes, with your significant other, or sleeping. So we want to do things like get rid of our
not
laptops.
Sleep fucking. That shit's
no,
not consensual.
So you got to move your laptop, your cell phone to where it's, on a nightstand or on the floor, and be really conscious about when you get to bed, you're going to be there for sleeping or for making love. So what I like to do is what I've done is I moved all my laptops and everything to my office, or if I absolutely have to do some work, I'm not actually in the bed. So I'm either in a chair or laying down, or you're rubbing your nipples on a chair
distracted?
instead of in bed. The other thing you want to do is try to make it so that you're only going to bed right at the time when you know you're going to go to sleep. So do everything you can in other parts of the house. So, and if you find yourself getting into bed and you're about to sleep, but then what happens to me, I'll be in bed and then I'll think I'm about to zone out and then nothing. You're still up. Rather than grab your phone and go back to scrolling, go downstairs. Go back into an area that's not your bed. What you want to do is you want to train your body, train your mind into knowing that your bed is where you're going to go to sleep. It's no longer your place for just lounging and relaxing and staring on that blue death of your cell phone or on TV. This will be really beneficial. The other thing is, like I said, if you're not into taking meds, but you want to try to take some, melatonin is completely healthy. You can buy it over the counter in every pretty big chain store. And there's no, it's not like a side effect thing. It's not like something that's going to be in your medical record. It's not really anything it's not going to affect you long term. Be wary of doing things like NyQuil. In our community, we've done that before. We drank NyQuil, taken a NyQuil.
Out in a big way.
Chasing the green dragon so you can go to sleep, specifically on the way back from the deployment. Like, that's not healthy. Those aren't sleep aids. Those are
on
meant
the way
to. Yeah.
During, and on the way back. What are you talking about, man?
Also, watch your caffeine intake before bed. I used to drink a lot of coffee, used to drink a lot of Mio Energy, and then I was wondering why I couldn't go to sleep. So try to, maintain your intake during the day when you absolutely need it, but later in the afternoon, especially not at night, don't treat yourself with iced coffee or, add Mio to your drink if you're trying to make sure you go to bed on time. So those are just a lot of the things you can do. And then if you're finding yourself burning on like 3 hours and 4 hours of sleep, just know that that's not normal. We can get into where that becomes our normal, but you're going to have a lot of issues with concentration, with brain fog, with performance. So you really want to get to that 7 to 8 hour. You want to stay in that 7 to 8 hour range so that you're in your optimum function. I'm saying this because I've been in 3 to 4 hour sleep cycle where that's like my operation for like months, for like 6-7 months, 3 to 4 hours. And it's taxing. It's really bad for you. For me, I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping right. So I was deficient in a lot of things, deficient in sleep. My cognitive ability wasn't there. I was having to take a lot of supplements just to function normal. So I would caution you, if you're like me and you're able to get 3 to 4 hours, don't let that become your normal. Get help, call some people, or just take the advice I just put out there and see if it works for you. Next time I'll cover a little more things in depth, how we can like quiet our minds and like find that little bit of peace right before we go to bed. But thank you for letting me share that, boys. You got any issues or experiences with any sleep issues there, Paul?
All right, you can hear me cool.
Yeah.
I think I've been doing better. I got to a point though where I drink some crazy, like 300 milligrams worth of caffeine in the morning. Now it knocks me out at night, so I'm trying to get away from that. Haven't used pre-workout in like
a
month. Feels a little bit better. But I think my sleep cycle's fallen back. And like I said, they were gone for 2 weeks. That was my big challenge, was keep normal. So about 7.5, 8 hours is what I'm shooting for.
That's really good. That's what you want. I've noticed when I finally went and asked for help for my sleep, and they gave me this whole list of like, your sleep hygiene, cleaning up your sleep. I was like, this is ridiculous. I can't do all this. I do everything from my bed at night. And then finally I'm like, what do I have to lose? So I stopped. I stopped doing everything I was doing in bed. There's no need for me to be searching social media or Googling things or doing projects in bed. So that was like the first big step. And then I did get help. That's the last thing I do. When I go to bed, I lay down, I take my medication, and I'm out. I get my sleep. I'm no longer interrupted. And it's been amazing. Greg, you got any sleep issues? Besides the constant masturbation at night?
No. I don't know. I've been trying to stay off, electronics.
Yeah.
That's the hardest one because I need ambient noise, and that's more of a hearing problem, right? You get fucking that nice high pitch ringing in your ears 24/7.
Oh, tonight, yeah.
So you get tinnitus,
which I thought
have some background noise, but
yeah, that was another thing that so I've had that for a long time, and I thought that you could cure that. I thought there was like something they could give you, and I was like, wow, there's something they can do for me. I won't worry about that now. And then I finally brought it up, and they're like, yeah, you're just gonna have to live with that. I was like, okay, I did not know that.
I was an empty sound range that'll never be full again. Like, all right, cool.
All right.
And I probably average anywhere from 4 to 6 hours a night. We're on the low side, 4 to 5. But
yeah, we gotta bump those numbers up, buddy. I imagine it's different.
I've got plenty of energy throughout the day.
Yeah.
I don't really drink. I've cut a lot of fucking sugar out. I slip up every now and then. I'll eat fucking snacks and have a treat here.
How much?
If I drink an energy drink, it's a sugar-free, whatever.
Yeah.
And only one a day, if that. I've cut a lot of caffeine out of my diet, though. That's been a big thing that I've cut out, and still been able to maintain good energy levels. I'm able to go work a full day, come home, work out, fucking do some stuff around the house. So it hasn't been bad.
I thought I was gonna miss coffee a lot more.
It ebbs and flows, though. There are times where shit, man, stuff hits you, whether it's a mental game, physical, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You'll maybe 3 or 4 hours of sleep, real shit sleep, and just feel dead all the time.
Yeah. I'm glad I got my sleep got an answer to my sleep problem. But yeah, that's today's better health and development topic I wanted to cover. And thank you boys for sharing. Well, guys, that wraps up today's show. Had a great time sitting down with Paul and Greg and talking about a lot of different things, but I want you to remember, always remember, old man Kevin McCallister. That would be a worthy adversary. That's a movie that we need. So let's go out there, put a hashtag behind it, and get this shit made, guys. As always, to our vet community, if you need help, seek help, talk, reach out to your friends, your family. It's never going to get better unless we stand up and ask for help. And at the same time, you can't sit there and think that you can't overcome something. So if you're going through a rough time and you need someone, by all means, you can reach out to us at sechaltpodcast@gmail.com. We are not licensed, trained professionals, but we can have you on and make you laugh and at least point you towards the right direction. As always, take care.